Docker and how to deploy it. So let's back. Last time we mainly discussed about this one only, right? So how to create the database, and from that if you want to use the UI for the database, and our code deploy via Docker, right? These are things only we mainly discussed. Okay. Now actually last time what happened, the table is not available. So actually I got fixed that issue. So here this time also the issue came from the dependencies only. Actually, so yeah, here three tables. Actually, in production environment, most of the time we won't use UI. Like, we don't need that. So we mainly use the query only. Okay, so in the query only we are going to get all the details. UI most of the time we won't use. That is not the record in the production. But in your dev environment, or staging environment, or test environment, if you want to test your data, you can use this one. Okay. So it's not an in-memory database. It's the PostgreSQL. So in RDS. So your data will be stay longer, like until unless you are cleared your volume. Okay. So just back to one quick overview about what we did in the last session, then we'll continue from there. Okay. So mainly did as a Docker file. So we mainly created this Docker file. I hope everyone got the clear idea. So how to create the Docker file, how you make your application containerized. Then we back to our Docker file, how we wanna write a Docker compose file, what is the purpose of the Docker compose and Docker file, everything I hope you guys knows. And these are the things. Now our application is running actually. So last time it's got failed somewhat, right? Maybe it will got some vital page error. So it means the application was running. So all the APIs got authenticated. You can't use without authentication. You have to enable have to give the authorization verify code. Access token you have to give. Then these APIs will work. Okay. Now backend ready entire things we created so far, like APIs, how it is performing, how the flow going to be, how you want to deploy. Like where we started like from the scratch, then we came to the until deployment. Now let's discuss about some design patterns. Like now I directly coming and I am telling, so these are the things I have to create the user table, I have to create the user roles. Those things I am randomly telling, right? It won't be random. So if you are went to any interview or a L1, L3, this kind of interview, if you went to any department, there will be some level, okay. Based on the level only your package and everything, your role will be decided. If you are going any interview, base level as a entry level only, those guys like they will expect you are master in the core or not, okay. So if I am raising the question, what is the difference between the method hiding, method overriding, what is the method overloading? So you have to give clearly, but whenever if you are giving the answer, don't tell until the depth. You just tell what is the top. Just a one-liner is enough. Okay. Then you just at end of your answer you have to mention. May need to deep dive. You have to more details about that. Like that you have to mention. Okay. Don't tell if they are asking the what is garbage collection. Don't tell the entire thing when the garbage collection will be executed. Nothing needed. What is garbage collection? That's it. It's just a remove on memory efficiency like that. So for example, I'm telling this is the one-liner enough. If you want to more depth, we will explain. You raise the question, then if they agreed, you explain it. Don't overwhelm them. Okay, like that. If you are coming to the system-based things, system design also. The system design, where it will start from actually? It start from the actually tables. So in all the applications start from the tables. What are the tables you need? So it's nothing but data. So our all the things, entire world is running based on the data. So if I am showing something, everything is data. Without data, we can't do nothing, right? The same philosophy applied here as well. We have to start from the data. So if you want to master the data related thing, where we have to start? We have to start from the tables. So whenever if you are architecting any application, you have to focus on the what are the tables. Then you can from top of it you can choose the which language I'm going to use, Java, Python, React, Next.js. It's up to you. That is totally different. But if you step into the application as a technical term, you have to choose what are the users will be there, what are the tables will be there for my application. If you are taking the like library management or user management, student management, anything you are taking, have to decide what are the flow for my application. Okay, how many roles? Start from the roles. Okay, who are my users? How many roles are there? I am the super admin. Okay, I can control everything. That is the one role. What is the next role? Maybe the student, maybe the some administrator or a teacher. It's going to be like that. So like then you draft like that. Then what we have to do? Okay. So I prepare on MD file. From that we'll step into these things. Okay. Maybe one or two sessions will be I will be here. Okay. So most of the things was clear. Entire backend and the Springboard. So I won't come after that. Okay. So this could be like a last I think until Wednesday I will come. So until that, if you have any doubt, ask me. After that also, if you have any issues, any in the backend, you ask in the Telegram. Okay, I hope everyone has. Okay, no issue. So we'll start from here. If you come to the database, data related thing, you have to start from the tables as I mentioned. Okay. Now, before we step into the how to design the table, everything, these are the core ideas. How to focus. Okay. So let's start from the how we are going. We already have the data. How we are going to access the data and manage the data. That is the first thing. Okay. Now I have the table. Like assume I have the user table. I have the 1,000 users or million users. Okay. And also one more small tip. Whenever if you are designing the system, like if you are went to the interview, ask them my current application how many users it should handle. Based on that, you should design the system. If they are telling only for the 10 user, while you are designing, you don't need to cache and those kind of things is not required. If it is 10 user, the data won't be much. There is no need of cache. There is no need of some other brokers, background tasks. Nothing is needed. You can directly design the system. You just ask this threshold. By default, they will give. But whenever you are going to do, get the requirements clearly. If you don't clear the requirement, ask them. No one going to school. If they don't give the job, no problem. You did right, simple, that's it. But no, it won't happen. But I am telling maybe 0.001% anywhere, but it's not possible. If you are asking the requirement, definitely they're going to clear, but maybe some reasons. Okay. So now we'll come to the part. Now we will discussed about the table related things. Right now I have the data. It start from the how you are accessing the data, how you are managing it. Simple, only one word, how you are going to manipulate the data. Manipulating is nothing but how you are handling. That's right. Okay, fine. Now you have one table is called as a user table. Okay. In the table I have the 1,000 records. If you want to access the one user, what is your query? How many of you guys know the SQL? Just raise that. How many of you know SQL? Base until joins, left join, right join, inner out join, pull out join. Okay, leave the join before the join. Whoever select star from this kind of air condition having window. So fine. Okay. So you guys just focus on those area also. As you backend, now you are learning the full stack, right? But keep mind any one of the things. You must have. I also know the front end and React, everything I know. But my goal is backend. So you have to start with any one of the things. Maybe backend language or front end language. You have to choose. This is the time. But you must know the knowledge about all the things. If I am giving the task in the React, you can able to do. If you want to create on a particular hook, using that hook, you can to create on particular page. That you can able to do, you can able to understand. But no need to focus on the other things. I am not telling. For example, I am telling. If it is choose the React as well, then keep the backend as like that. Okay, API system. Now you guys, how your mindset will be there. I don't want to code, but you guys already knows how the backend system will work, how the API work, how the flow is going to be, everything we knows, right? Same concept. If you choose which one, based on that you will decide. Okay, always keep some things. And industry they will call us T format. So T logic is nothing but one design pattern or kind of things up to you. What that pattern will do? T means there is a two lines like this, right? So this should be your core. That means your baseline. This is top of the things. I must know the things. That's it. If you are asking me, if I won't tell that backend is the top core. My core thing is won't be like that. In that I can able to specify data engineering my special. Which one I am specialization? Data engineering. I'm just a normal Python developer. I can tell just a full stack Java developer. I can tell. So you guys choose which one is your core. Okay. From the top of it, you can know the things. Maybe my top of it going to the AA. What is AA engineering? How the AA was working. Nowadays you don't need to build the machines from the scratch. No need to build. There's a plenty of LLMs already built. Okay, what you have to use. So you have to know how can I use that. Simple. So I'm just aware of it. Like that my front end as well. So keep your mind like that. Then you going to be no one going to change. No one can't able to change you. If you are clear in your idea, thoughts, easily we can do the things. Okay, let's back to our code. So this is what is start from the ORM concept. What is meant by ORM? We already discussed these things, but I have to summarize few more things because it's almost going to be end. So I have to summarize few more things. So what is meant by ORM? Okay, what it will do?
Java object without SQL queries by using Java.
Using raw is Java codes, I can able to get the data from the database. So it's what ORM will do, just avoid to create a raw SQL. Simple. Okay. So which ORM you want to use? Later you will be like that. You have to use now you guys telling perfectly. Okay. Like that only you have to tell us a full confidence. Okay. Now this is a ORM. So there is a plenty of things was there. Hibernate was there. Open API or something. This kind of things will also there. Okay. We'll see. And there's some JP also there. Eclipse JP or something. Those guys also one of the ORMs. Okay, fine. So let's start from the what is ORM. So we already know. So if you want to just read about some context, so it's nothing but it's just a kind of one technique. So you have to use your without using raw SQL, you just using your Java code, you can able to get the query. What ORM will do? ORM convert your Java code to SQL code. Simple. Fine. Next. So this is the things how the flow going to be. You can just go through it. It's not a big deal. So Java object from that how the things is internally the Hibernate and the JPA coming to the picture. Okay. So what is the difference between the Hibernate and the JPA? What is JPA?
JPA just contain the rules.
Simple. It's just a rules and specification. So it will implemented by some other multiple providers, multiple framework, Hibernate and Eclipse JPA. Like that, there is some plenty of ORMs also. Those guys implemented, but core rule and specification come from JPA. Don't forget. Okay, fine. Now same things like if I am using this one, it's just a Java code, but while I am doing it, will insert the table in the raw SQL. Okay, like that. So simple. Why ORM was doing simple like without JDBC. So don't confuse these kind of things. You have to master this. You have to clear what you know. Like how many of you knows like if you are using the method overriding, if you are using the child classes, right? In the child classes, if I am doing the upcasting, what is meant by upcasting? Upcasting means what is upcasting? What is upcasting, downcasting? Fine, don't think much. Okay, so if you have the child class, so most of the time we have some things called as a V table also there. So these kind of things is a bit depth. So this when you these doubts will be maybe you know the answer, you have to practice. So definitely you will get some error. Error is too important while you are in the learning part. Still, I am also learning today. So it's not only I stopped a few years back, so I can teach you. Initially, how the Hibernate I have to configure. So nowadays we are configuring this form.xml, right? While I am learning, So most of the things I have to do my own. So it will take more than the week for basic configuration. So if this setup I did right, entire application setup without coding, any coding in the any logic, if you want to set up, it will take a week. Base setup in your machine, I have to complete any Spring Boot project, it will take a week. But now everything is reduced. But we have to know how these guys did. What are the things began this in working? Like now, if I am asking the dependency injection, you guys know because we know the clear thing. We did so many examples. We got the error. So from the errors only you must understood the dependency. What is mean by resolver? What is mean by injection? When the object will be available? What is being? There is a plenty of question. Okay, you must clear your mind should be clear. What is being? Being is just an object. That's it. Don't think much. Don't create more theory and don't memorize nothing. That's it. That's it. Don't anything is a bit complex. Okay. So that's why. So this is just the things. If you don't have the ORM, what you have to do? You have to write a query like this. Okay. So it's nothing but it won't be the new. It's nothing but it's just a connection. It's nothing but it's just a connection. You have to establish the JDBC, right? So what we are doing internally, we are directly establishing using the ORM, right? But here you have to do by your own. You have to get the manager. If you have the camera in your mobile, without the driver you can't open your camera. Maybe mobile phone we won't experience too much, but in your system definitely you guys experience. I have the Wi-Fi, everything my system available, but your driver is failed. That means you can't access. That means in the ORM, if you don't have the JDBC, you can't be able to connect your database. If you can't connect your database, you can't run nothing. So this everything we have to do by our own. So it's how much burden it is. So think about that. That's it. It's with ORM, it's just a online query, just an optimization. So once you come to some advanced level, there your work will be reduced. But that time only you will have more responsibility. You don't breach the things. That means you have the core knowledge you have to master. If you are going any fintech company, still these guys are using Java. And somewhat there is a multiple reason. Initially, what I mentioned, our first session or something, first week session, I mentioned something. That is the actual reason. But until now, also those guys won't asking the top level things. They will start from the core. What are the things core in the avail? Oops, polymorphs. What are the things come under those? These things only. Just to master it, work on the more things, get more errors. When you are going to get the confidence, whenever you are getting the error, once you fix that error, you will get more confidence. Okay. Just back to this topic. So this is the ORM, right? So this is the major purpose. With that, without this ORM, you have to write this much things. If you want to explain, I can explain. Just a driver. You have to get without JDBC. We have to establish a connection, right? This is the connection establishment using the some driver. I have to write my query. I have to pass my parameters properly. Argument should be proper. Then I have to call the execute query method as well. Then I have to get the ID data. Then I have to map to the object. Then I have to close the session. This is too important. Don't forget to close the session. Or else what's going to happen is kind of some leak. But this is out of things. But you have just aware of what is mean by memory leak. This could be any interview question. What is memory leak? So you just note down this one and just go through it once you get the time. Okay. With ORM, this is not required. This memory leakage, this everything will be handled by my Hibernate itself. I don't worry about that. Simple. Okay, so this is just some stories. So here the things. What is JPA versus Hibernate? These things I already explained. JPA is nothing but as Jakarta is like as a kind of package. It's just a package name. Maybe most of the guys will tell Java persistence JPA. If you want to mention as it's not also not a wrong, but you can specify, not a issue. Okay, Jakarta resistance API is in the JPA. It's kind of specification apart from that nothing else. Okay, what I told initially definitely is kind of same things. This is just a rules apart from the nothing else. From these are the three guys who implemented these things: Hibernate, Eclipse Link, and OpenJPA. Yeah, initially I mentioned OpenA, so it's kind of some miscommunication. So just a OpenAPA, OpenJPA, and Eclipse Link and Hibernate. But as of now, we are mainly using Hibernate. So now, initially I mentioned we are using the repository pattern, right? What is the benefit we are going to get it from that? If I don't want the Hibernate, I can easily change to Eclipse. I have to only touch my repository code. I don't have to touch my business logic code. That means the server, service, and control. I don't have to touch. I have to only touch the repo. So how much easy it is. So these are the real benefits also. Don't learn wisely. These are the things. That's why I have to experience that issue. Then you will understand. Okay. So this is the ORM things, like how the object was mapping. So it's specifying that the upgrade entities can mean as one table. Then if you want to give the particular table name while you are creating, you can specify it. Just object creation, how the table conversion, everything is like that. Okay. Then entity mapping. So what is meant by entity mapping is nothing but what we did earlier. So just mapping on Java class to one entity. Entity is nothing but table. That's it. Simple. Okay, these things we already know and just want to draft the things again. That's it. Okay. So table column we knows. Yeah. So this is a bit important. Primary key strategies. So what is meant by primary key? That is the unique identity of one record. That should be always unique. Okay. So what is the purpose of the primary key? How you are going to identify it? Now, if anyone wants to identify me, they can call my name. Okay. But my name also will be duplicate. Okay. There is a possibilities, right? So how you are going to create a unique ID for me? That is the one thing you can let table will decide. Okay, but here we have few more constraints. Why? Because I worked some plenty of GP data management, so I know some things in the data engineering. So what is my experience from that? I don't let DB will create the primary key. My use case is different. Why? Because I am handling the bunch of data. So many data I have to handle. So what I will do, I will create the unique ID from myself. So I have to choose some particular package. So we create one package. We are using that one. Maybe next 100 years there is some duplication won't be occur. 150 years there is a damn sure duplication won't be occur. So until that time I can use that thing. So what is the benefit? You just imagine the DB create a primary key for you. What is the backend things? What is the backend? What is the flow? It's going to happen in begin the scene. Simple. So if you want to insert the record, what it will do? It go to the database. What database will do? It will take the all the record. What is the last record unique key? Maybe you are doing a sequence order, right? What it will be to take the total number of records. From that it will add the one. This is my unique key. So it's taken the time. If I want to do the select star from query, plus the count query I want to execute. Also you want to take from the schema. So you, for our entire database, we have one thing is called as the info schema. From that info schema also you can able to get your how many records available in the table. That will be pre-cached. Okay. So there is some multiple things is there. Some views, materialized views. I am telling, don't make anything confused. That's why I am telling as a top view only. From that you have to take the total number of records. From that what you are going to do, you have to add one. Then you will get your unique and you will insert your record. But while giving my record itself, if I am giving my primary key, what is going to happen? No check, nothing needed. Directly it is inserted. So there is a relay. So how you are saving your time. Milliseconds is matters actually. So that's all. So this is the primary key strategies, and if you are talking about the primary key, the other things we have to discuss about the foreign key. What is meant by foreign key?
The relation.
They have to give the relation. Okay, so we'll discuss definitely. I think in the session itself I will close it. How you are going to design the table. What is meant by normalization? What is the purpose of we are using? Everything I will clear it out. Okay. Next session we will. Today's session we will see most of things relational database. Tomorrow we will see the document database like a DynamoDB. Okay, fine. So these are the just fields and the type converters. There's nothing is required. A string, varchar, integer, begin, double precision. These are the two basic things. If you get just to go through it. Then custom attributes converter is also not a big deal. Then these are the enums, in the sense we already know some particular predefined things, constants, nothing else. But there is a big difference between the constant and enums, so don't have anything confused. Okay. Then temporal types, you can create some types by your own, and a timestamp is the embedded object. This is we are not going to use much, but if you want we can use it. Okay, resulting table. Okay, life cycle of callback. This is also we are not using much, not required. Inheritance mapping. Okay, this is not required. Here is the two important part, relationship. So here only I told, right. So we'll open the Canva. We'll get some idea. Yeah, I will close it soon. Okay, so it's already some late. Okay, fine. Is it fine? We'll continue, right?
Continue, sir.
So we'll talk about the relationships. Relationship is nothing but like let's think. I have some user table. Let's not a user table. Every time we are using. Let's take a student table. You guys are student. Right? I want to manage your records. Okay. You guys just think if you want to do the group discussion also. You guys discuss with each other and tell me how many tables you want for managing you guys. How many tables you want? Think. If you are telling 5 tables, you have to tell why you need a 5 tables. What is the benefit you are going to get from it? Simple. Shall we do that? Is it possible? Okay. Just a thing. Everyone do your own things. Not the issue. Discussion also not required. How many tables you need? Just to tell one by one. We'll directly will discuss. What is the issue going to be happen? You're only going to collect the student details only. That's just the student management. That's it. How many tables you need? Then what are the tables? Simple. How your designing skills going to be? These are the system design. How you are designing the system. So okay, I will start. Okay, start from the student table. Maybe my student table. What I am planning now. Student name, student address, education, what are the other details? Phone number, email, then if you want any particular ID card, something, then education, what are students going to have? Nothing else, maybe any unique record for the state management. Actually, in our state, they have managed some EMIs number, something like that. In school, they will manage. Here also, I think it was there. It is India, hello India, I guess. EMIs number, something. It was there. These were unique. Then what else going to be? These are the maybe kind of 8 data. That means 8 columns. Okay, fine. Don't think about initially if you are drafting. First, you have to classify what are the data I am going to receive. Okay, now I told 8 data. Now, can I keep this 8 data in the single table or I have to create the multiple tables? Don't tell wisely, have to choose the multiple tables. If you are telling that, you have to tell the proper reason. Why I am going to multiple tables? So these are all the records available for one student. That means one row will contain these 8 columns. Maybe apart from one more column will be added the primary key. That could be unique, right? Maybe these 9 fields. How many tables we need? Or can I keep the one table itself? Okay, we'll keep from the one table. What is the issue going to happen? Anyone going to beat us or anyone going to scold us? Nothing, right? I will keep it as one table. Okay. Initially, I started my application. Whenever students come in my portal, they have to give their data. I will put the entry. Okay. Once particular time, it won't give any issue. But this is the time. Now, student have the multiple education. Student have multiple experience or something like some activities. See, have the multiple certification. What we going to do? This situation. This is the issue. How I am going to resolve this issue? First solution. The table itself. I can create a list of objects. I can store it. Right? This is the one way. Any other ways?
We have to create another table for that.
For that, which one we have to create?
The experience and
Experience, maybe certification. What is the benefit we are going to get from that?
adding additional data. Student key,
Not
we
additional
have the
data.
primary key and we can teach
benefit. I am not asking what we are doing. I am asking the benefit. What is the benefit we are going to get?
Taking the more data.
More data. That also I can do the list of object itself. And I can do that.
It is easy to fetch the
Easy to fetch.
Yes.
So easy to fetch in the sense, what is mean by? Can I understand like this? I am just making my data as a more structured manner. So most of the guys will tell the medical example only. Same example and bring back here. Okay, nothing but if you are not categorize your data while you are picking your data, that will be problematic. So most of the things what going to happen? Create, read, update, and delete. This is too important, right? Whenever if I want to do these things, create won't be the big deal. Definitely create won't create the much issue. Create is too easy. Okay, fine. What is the next thing? Delete also easy. Then what is the things? Updation and read will be the always headache. Why I am telling this is headache? Okay, now think about one table itself. I added the list of object will be there. Now, if you are made the index also, that is a different concept. I will come. Okay, definitely we are going to see the index. What is meant by indexes? What is the purpose of using index? B-tree index. How the structure will be handled in the entire database. That is two interesting things. If you are we went to the database, that is how the tree structure. They by default handling some B trees kind of things. Okay, we'll see that, not an issue. Let's back to our things. So now you have the list of objects. Okay. Now, if you have a single line, in that single line string, searching will be faster, or if you are searching in the list of objects, will be faster. Always single string. So that means here, now you want to search, you want to add the filter in your application based on the which college my students are studying. I want to search like Usmania is a university here famous, right? I don't know any other universities. So if you want to search Usmania universities here, how you are going to filter against your database? If you are kept in the same array of objects, you went to array, that is possible. Array of object also searching will be there, but it will take some time consume. While you are writing the query also, it's not easy for searching the nested object. Nested means it's contain the another object, that is called as a nested, right? We know, not a big deal. If you want to search in the nested things, definitely there is will be a headache, time consuming. But I want to give my data to that much faster. Maybe you guys use some cache or some other things. How many records you can able to going to keep in your cache? So here optimization record. That's why normalization coming to the picture. What is by word itself? You have to understand what is meant by normalization. And sometimes this normalization also backfire to us. I will explain. Okay, if you went to microservices, definitely there will be a backfire as well. I will explain. Okay. Now, if anyone noticed in your WhatsApp you are using, right? If you change your DP display picture, if you have changed, it won't change in the notification suddenly. It will take maybe at least 4 to 5 hours. It will take. Or else it will show your old DP only. I don't know how many of you experience. If you change your DP now, here it will be changed, but the notification it won't change. Why? Because what they did, they are running a different server for notification management. This reflection will take some time to reflect there. That is a $1 billion company. Understood? How the reliability, but notification is not a big deal for me. So I am not going to. So you have to think. This is the user focus more space. I have to do the optimization here. Notification not a big deal. So just receive the image. I have to just tell you receive the image. If the DB showing the old DB, what is going to be a big deal? It's not a sometime real time thing, but it's not a big deal. So like that we have to optimize here. Let's back to our things. Okay, I'm telling the list of object search, right? Now compare them the single string search. Okay, if you are designing your education or tables, what are the columns your education table is going to be? College name, degree. Then in that degree, what you are doing, what is your major? So that means specialization. Oh, next, CGP. Okay, fine, that also fine. Then maybe it's going to be when you start, when you end your things. That's it, right? Maybe how many years that degree, that won't be required. If it is optional, and if you always keep some meta as a JSON field We know what is meant by JSON, right? Go through it, right? Always keep some JSON field, some tables, but not required. If you feel that table going to be contain some additional data, that means a miscellaneous, some additional data maybe contain, you can store. Oh, in the database designing, there is a one headache. Adding the things is not easy. Once you created your system, you want to add the one single column, it makes you real headache, and I'm sure. But deleting is easy, too easy. Deleting is too easy. But whenever if you are designing the things, creating the things, be sure this is my final things. Okay. But this and all, you guys won't get. You don't need to do by your own. If you went to any fintech company, they will do by themselves, and they will give it to you. This is your task. You have to complete. Apart from that, nothing going to be. But in case if you are step into startup, okay, this is the really you can use them. Okay, you can be able to work on multiple roles. Okay, not only the developer, not only the architect, not only the lead, how you are managing the package. It won't be like that. You can be able to serve plenty of roles. Okay, that is some advantage also. Okay, fine. Let's back to things. Maybe these are the columns I have, right? Now, if you want to search, I can easily figure it out. I can be able to search directly my education table, which college name they are searching. I can easily search. Okay, this college, how many students? I can this time only I can able to do the relation with my parent table. So where the primary key, that primary key available in that table. Just using the relation only, I can able to get the data. I can able to show in my thing. Like these are the guys studied in this Usmania University, like that. This is the normalization, right? Now, sometimes normalization also backfire. What is the backfire things? If you have the microservices, you have to, whenever if user doing the payment, okay, what you have to do, you have to put the entry in the payment table, right? You can keep the primary key of the user, that is not a big deal. But in the payment section, admin want to search this particular guy did the payment or not. How you are going to do that? In the payment table, I only have the user ID. But user table running is a totally different service, another service. How we are going to do the search? So what we have to do? First, we have to receive the request. We send the request to another service. That request I have to search the name. I have to filter that ID. That ID available here or not, I have to check. From that I have to show the data. So this time what we will do, we will create a student name like a username in that table itself. This is not normalization. This is denormalization. Why it's benefit? I can easily search the name. But here the issue will happen. Maybe in case user changed their name, what going to happen? Here name will be static because it's not directly linked. It's totally different, right? So you have to create only another API call to update here. So like this only the real world application will was working. So that's why if you are seeing the WhatsApp also, they are not updating their DB suddenly in the notification layer. That will take some time. So here also if you are updating that one, user won't care much if their username some not changed because this is our admin going to look into that one, right? It's not a big deal. So this is the real benefit of the relationship. How you are relating your data, how you are managing your data. So if you are telling the medical stuff, how you are, they will categorize. Their top level category going to be the disease based. These drugs come under this. These drugs come under this area. Like that they will segregate. Inside that they will have the multiple things. Right? Say here, let's come to some real world example. Okay, let's start from the one-to-one relationship. What is meant by one-to-one relationship? You have to clear. What is meant by one-to-one relationship? One-to-one relationship means. Tell any real world example. Tell any real world example. One-to-one relationship.
Like one user has only one profile.
Sorry?
One user has only one profile.
One user has one profile. So are you going to create a user table separately, profile table separately?
Having only one relationship.
If you are reading from here also, you have to tell properly.
One user has exactly one profile.
One user exactly have one profile. That means how many tables will be there? Two tables. So that means user table is different, profile table is different. If you are check any other UT platform, some other platform also, if you take Liquid also, user will be there, but if your user settings will be this totally different. If you went to GitHub is more settings will be there. If you went to user setting, what they will do, they will create a separate table for the profile setting. So yeah, one user can't create the multiple profile. One user definitely must have the only one profile. So if you are learning the example, keep in your mind, don't confuse. One user just having the one profile setting. Here also one record, with relationship also have the one record. If you check here to there also, it will 1 to 1. From this side also this side, that side to this side also 1 to 1. Is there any doubt? So 1 to 1 always won't make any confusion. Okay. Simple. So this is the diagram going to user table, my user profiles table. Here my user ID is a foreign key here. That means that is primary key of this user table. Right? One record always can able to contain the only one profile. Now, one to many or many to one. There is also something was the first context. One department has many employees. Each employee belongs to the one department. Okay.
One faculty can teach many classes.
Subject simple teacher. So, teacher to education teaching. You can do that simple. A department have definitely only one department will be there. I don't know. Plenty of departments also will be there in the college level. But here, when the confusion will happening, some other departments also there, right? That means multiple departments there, multiple faculties also there. This is called as a many to many. Then why you are telling one to many? Interviewers will treat you like that. What is your answer? Now that.
But the relationship is different.
What relationship?
Like
Same teacher is dealing with different subjects.
Okay, that is one to many. In teachers table, there won't be the only one teacher. There is a multiple teachers. That's called as a many right? Here only most of the guys will confused. So we have to think about which perspective you are thinking. That is too important. Okay, so here I am thinking about the multiple rows inside. It's not a multiple other different kind of rows. It always belongs to the one. That means one user record. I am the one department record. I am not thinking about the multiple department record as of now. I am always thinking about the only one record. I am the one department, right? I don't want to think other departments. You just think about me first. I am just a one department is called as a computer science department. Fine. This is one department only. Maybe my entire table will contain the multiple departments. That's not mean to the many. Each department's only one department only. That means I am only thinking about my record, one department, right? For me, there will be a plenty of students will be there. One department belongs to the multiple students. Okay, but multiple students come to where belongs to my one record. You think like this. Don't make the confusion in the table level. Definitely table have the multiple record. That means it's not a multi things. It's always come to the one record. One record have the relationship to the other tables. Multiple students. Multiple students relationship to the only one record. It's always keep in the record. But we are doing in the table relation. But keep the answer in the record level. Fine. Now the question. How this is now one to one also clear, right? So always we are thinking about one record. Here one to one also that we did. That's it. Here also I can able to trick you. I can confuse. Here two users was there. Many users. Here also they have a profile setting. Many profile setting. It won't be like that. It's just a difference based on the one record. This is a alias record. This is a one record. Having the only one entry in the another table. It's always keep in your mind as a entry a single record based. That one row. Fine. Any doubts? Clear? Okay, fine. Many to one, one to many also clear, right? Okay, fine. These are the just the implementation. We already knows this, so I'm to skip. If you need, I can explain. Not a big deal. Okay. Here, say engineering department. As always, my one record. one record, this my department have the two users in the another table. This belongs to my record, only one record, right? Any issues? Clear? Fine. Now come to many. Here will be the issue. Anyone tell example? Apart from these student enroll multiple courses, apart from tell any other example for many two. And how many to many table relationship will happen? It will create a new table. It won't be kept you in the this table relationship itself. It will create a new table. This you can't see actually internally it was there, but if you went to your database, you can see that many to many relationship. You can see that like. Anyone tell any example apart from this student enrollment, multiple courses, course have the multiple students.
Doctors and patients.
One doctor can receive multiple patients. So multiple appointments. This is one doctor, many patients. One to many. Here, how it is come to many to many.
More than one doctor also visit many patients.
That's it. So, which way you are conveying your thoughts to that interviewer, or how you are designing your table. So, if you are designing like that, like if you are come to here, like code wise it won't be understandable. Your diagram is there. This is the diagram. Okay, this is the student table. This is my course table. Right. So, what is happened? This is my students as allies and Bob. Here, this guy, let assume this is the doctor, this is the patient. Okay. I have the doctor as allies and Bob. These are the two guys. Okay. And the patients like Java and SQL become the patient. Okay. Now, this giant table, this what is going to happen in many to many relationship if you are doing, that going to create a one more table. In that table, your record will be there. That means this record, that means like this doctor allies is already attend any one of the patient, already he attend the job. Next, who is this guy? Student 1 in the sense allies only again, same doctor visiting the SQL again. Now his shift was over, another doctor coming is called as a Bob. Here also going to check each shift, they have to check if you are in the bed. Oh, sorry for that. Like if you are, if you anyone admin, like some things, like another doctor's coming, hey, it's not intentionally telling again. So if anyone tell anyone there, so you have to visit like that. So shift wise. For me also, while I admitted, that will be like that only. When the shift was done, another guy was coming. He will visit and check your names, other things, your other things, everything is proper and like that. This is the many to many relationship. Okay. So this is not a big deal. How you want to use this? So many to many relationships, kind of big code. So you have to specify the relationship using everything annotation. Okay. So you have to specify many to many. What is meant by cascade? Cascade is nothing but whenever you are going to remove your data or delete your data, what is the reflection? Maybe here we are talking about the relation, right? Now if I deleted my parent relation, that means I deleted my doctor Bob, I want to remove. What I have to do? I have to delete my patients, what he looked in the patient, those also I have to delete or not. That we can design in the cascade. Cascade delete or cascade set null. That's the plenty of things also. Okay. So this is the things. Join table is nothing but it will create a one more new table. So what is the name for that? So what are the columns? It should join student ID, that means the doctor ID, course ID in the sense my patient's ID. Nothing. This will create a one more table. Okay, fine. So these are the things mainly for the relationship. Relationship is too important. You guys just try to implement this one. It's not a really big issue. Okay. Now everything is done. Declaring the things, creating the tables, and those are done, right? Now let's come to the how you are fetching your data. What is the time? And how many of you want to go? Much interest? Okay, fine. So next is the fetch type. So one is the lazy, another one is the eager. That is lazy and eager.
So I think lazy means whenever we require that will fetch the details only like that.
Whenever, yeah, React also yeah, lazy loading, eager loading was there, right? All the places have same things. What is lazy loading? What is eager loading? What lazy loading will do?
It will fetch the data whenever we need.
Hmm?
It will fetch whenever we need. Eager means
Hmm. Any other points? I am not understanding. I know you got the point, but you have to tell me. I should understand things right. What is lazy? What is eager? I show the diagrams.
lazy loading means it will load immediately like on demand. Eager loading.
Memorize. Well, I should understand. Give some example and explain to me properly. What is lazy and what is eager loading?
If we want to search that education details of a student, then if you have created the another table for that, first it checks the ID of the student. Then again it go to the another table of which is a single primary key search
Okay.
that, and then it fetch the data
Against that primary key.
in
Okay.
eager. The both tables are together and like used.
Is it correct? That's correct one. So for example, what is meant by lazy loading, what is meant by eager loading is nothing but there could be some issue also. N+1 query issue also will be there. Okay, it's nothing but what is lazy? Simple. What is meant by lazy?
Not willing.
Hmm?
Not willing.
Like how you guys are doing now. This only come answer fast. Not willing. Okay. Next. So it will be like the same applied here. Or load like if you are doing, if you have the join query also, how the behavior thing it was working, it's based on these two loadings. Okay. Come to the eager first. What eager will do? If you are doing the student query, what it will do in the eager loading? Simple. I have only two tables: student table, student education table. I want to fetch the student data. So I am querying using the eager loading is happening now. Begin this in what will happen. Eager loading, in eager loading.
Both the table data.
Whole.
Both the table data is loaded.
That means you are doing the one query. In the eager loading, what will happen? You are establish the one query. You are specifying for the one student, but what it will do in your child education, it won't load your that specified user data only. It will load your entire education, all the students' education details. From that, it will fetch. Okay, but lazy loading, what it do? It will run actually two queries. So what it will simply means like that, it will fetch one query like a student table. What is my current use? Student. That using that query, it will doing the another query in the my against education table, it will fetch the record. Even it is considered fast also. But if you are doing a multiple relation, what it is going to happen? It's going to call as a plus one query. Here it's called as a n plus one query. N is always in the sense it's a dynamic, like a big O n we are telling like how many times it's coming, how many times it will running that things, right? That is big O n, right? Same thing here, there is a possibilities in the lazy loading. N plus one query issue also will happen. So what is mean by n plus one query issue? I think here I mentioned. I don't think so. But n plus one query is too important. I will explain what is meant by n plus one query in the sense. You are doing the only one query for the student table. Okay. Now what will happen? You split that education table also another table. Education table also have two more tables. Like a college wise one table. From that college it have some relation. What will happen? Student, my colleges come under the education. It have the relationship between the my college and the student table as well. So this time what will happen if you are querying to the student? So it will run the queries actually three queries. First query is against your student. Next query against your college. What are the colleges we have? Universities, right?
So can you repeat this?
Yeah, fine. So if you are doing this kind of queries mechanism, there is a one query issue will be happen. N plus one query. If you are specifying the where condition, it won't be the big deal. Definitely it will return the things too fast. But if you are accessing more than the 10 data, what will going to happen? It's not only the 10 students. It's going to 10 into my college data. From that my education data. It will do the one more query extra. Student table one query will be executed. My college table one query will be executed. From that my education query one query will be executed. Because it will be run like this. Okay. But if you are using ORM, it will be run like this. But that time you can optimize your query. You can write your own SQL. So that is the major benefit. You have to know both ORM, what are the place I have to use ORM, what are the place I have to remove the ORM. Some places you can tell the ORM don't do that kind of thing. That time only eager loading, lazy loading come to the picture. You just master what is mean by n plus one query. You will get the clear idea about the eager loading and lazy loading. Okay, fine. So I think it's already time. If you want to close, we can close. Not an issue. So how many of you want to close? So how many things is completed? Embedded object is something. Relations also we completed. So bidirectional, unidirectional is nothing but we already know aware of it. What is meant by bidirectional? How it's going to here to there? How it's coming from there to here? That is the unidirectional. Bidirectional. Unidirectional in the sense both side communication able to happen. Bidirectional one side only. Here to there only it's able to possible. What we are discussing, this is the bidirectional or unidirectional. You guys also tell some answers. You guys also going to raise the question. I will also tell the answer. I also can raise the question. So unidirectional. Bidirectional. Any example? My camera, my phone, just capturing the thing. Just one way only. If I want after that, I can see. But now it's capturing. Now while we are capturing itself, it's can able to play. Not possible. That is a single thing. The same thing applied here also. So employed to which department? Simple. How the direction is going to happen. So you can use mapped by things this time. I don't want to make some more overwhelm. That's why I skipped these things while I am teaching the tables and the thing. That's why I am teaching separately. Okay. So you guys just to know about these kind of things. Okay. This query language is nothing but if you are doing the save command, right? Just aware of it. Okay. Yeah, will ready. I will give some time. Just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. You guys will prepare. Okay, fine. Not issue. If you are using the same method, it will always need to the insert or update in the query level. Find by, select by primary key. Find all, select all. Okay. So like that is count in the sense count star. Delete by ID. Delete by primary key. So begin this in what the query is running. You have to know which method. Save all the things, batch save. We have one thing is called as a batch save in the SQL. That is the only thing. Okay. So derive the query methods. These are the things we already explained, right? Based on the field name, it will pick. If you are changing here, it won't accept. So these things we already did in our class. So these are the most of the things related to the DB design, how the things going to be. So query language also. These are the three. Okay. Okay, fine. So here only one more things I am almost going to close. JQL, these things we already know. Here pagination at the starting we don't. So what is meant by pagination at the starting? So front end is too important actually. So back end also is too important. Always I am telling creating a thing is not a big deal, deleting a thing is not. Whenever if you are retrieving and updating is a big. Compare than the update, retrieve is a big deal definitely. If you have a million records, you want to show the record in the UI. So how you going to optimize your query? Are you going to fetch your million record? First of all, is it possible to show the million records in the UI? Maximum we can show 10 records, maybe 50, 20, maybe maximum 100. So here you have to create your API as a dynamically. How much front end want? Let them take. If you are asking the more data, it will take some time. But you always, whenever if you are designing your backend system, you design such a way it will work future as well. Like now they are asking only 10 data. Don't hard code in the limit as a 10. You get the things from the API. Receive the limit param. By default you keep it as a 10. The value is coming as a 100 data we can fetch and retrieve back. Okay. This is the limit, offset limit. It's come under offset limit. Offset limit is nothing but where you are starting, how much data you have to fetch. If you have the 30 records, if you are giving offset is 0 or offset is 1 and to 10 limits is fetch the first 10 records. Then offset is 11, then my limit is 10, it will fetch 11th to 20th record. This is the offset and limit. Okay. Now come to the start. Now when these guys are students are entered, who are entered first? I want to see those students. That time I can go to the created date. I can do the reverse sort. This is kind of starting. This will applicable for how much amount you pay. This depends. All the fields you can use the start by. Few fields only it's possible to use like a date and there's some range, integer, value, numbers. Those kind of places you can use it. Okay. So these are the major things is come under the DB things. Okay, this catchy level actually I implemented. So what is Redis and all. I will zip this project again. So because last time what will happen? Yeah, I will explain that issue again. It's not a bit. So as Postgres, this is not record. I am not using at all. Hibernate overall, Hibernate security, JWT, so auth clients security. So what I did last time, I did the mistake in the scope as a runtime as known as a test. That's why that's table is not created in my production table. So that means my Postgres table is not created. Why? Because while I am building, these things will consider for the test cases. But while running my application, Postgres is not available. Postgres is running differently, but my project Postgres is not available, so I couldn't able to create the tables. So that's why my application got crashed. So JDBC connectivity failed, your application will be crashed always. So that's why last time crashed. So that also I fixed. Apart from that, I think this is the major issue. So that's why scope is important. Okay.
It's mandatory or defined.
Scope is important. When in that package you are going to use. So always programs start from the compile time, run time. You always keep in your mind what are the things will execute in the compile time, what are the things will execute in the run time. Always keep in your mind. You be clear. This is the thing. This will happen. Right? Okay. So do you have any doubts? So these are the relational DB managements. Tomorrow we will see the DynamoDB. After that, maybe next class, semester class, I will summarize the whole thing. If you want to come up with any question, I can clear it out. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. You can leave. Yeah.